Cooper Flagg seems to be the real deal, and the NBA could very well have one of the future faces of the league waiting in the wings and ready to make some noise. NBA scouts don't always hype young players who haven't proven themselves ready for the big league because the high school and college ranks are nowhere near the level of competition in the NBA. But it's quite interesting to see that many scouts, experts, and analysts have been quite high on Cooper Flagg, who hasn't even played a single college game. As early as now, he's the consensus pick for the #1 overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft. So why exactly is everyone talking about Cooper Flagg? Well, you might want to stick around to find out why there's so much buzz surrounding this kid. The NBA has always been on the lookout for the next big thing in basketball. That's why a lot of stars were already on the league's radar when they were still in high school or while they were developing overseas. In terms of hype in America, few names could match the media attention that LeBron James got when he was in high school. Of course, Zion Williamson was already a social media sensation when he was just 16. Then, in other countries, the likes of Luka Doncic and Victor Wembanyama were already high on the list of draft prospects. But while the league has always been actively scouting the high school and teenage ranks in the US and overseas, there's one interesting kid who's gotten the attention of not only the NBA, but USA basketball as well. This means that this kid could be the real deal, and there are a lot of reasons why people have been so high on him. There are a lot of things to like about Flagg from a physical standpoint. He stands close to 6 feet 9 inches and has a well-built body that's over 200 pounds. His frame looks like it could handle a few more pounds, and he'll likely be somewhere close to 230 by the time he fully matures or when he starts lifting weights seriously. Meanwhile, his wingspan is reportedly over 7 feet. Basically, he's got good size and length for a small forward, and it's likely that he could add an inch or two in the NBA because the surprising part is that he's yet to turn 18 years old. Like a lot of young players, Flagg was trained to have an incredible versatility at his size. He may not be the biggest player at the small forward spot, but being 6 feet 9 and having incredible skills gives him an advantage over his competitors. This makes him the exact archetype of an NBA superstar because history has shown that versatile perimeter wings standing somewhere between 6'8 and 6'10 have had a ton of success in the league. You're looking at guys like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, Paul George, and if you want to dial the clock back further, Tracy McGrady. Those guys are the real deal, and it looks like Flagg is built like those superstars. Athletically, Flagg isn't generational, but he can really jump. If you Google his high school highlight reel, you'll see just how good of an athlete he is because he can dunk over defenders and make two-handed volleyball blocks look easy. Combine his 40-inch vertical with his height and wingspan, and you get a solid forward who can pretty much do everything you need from an athletic standpoint. But while a lot of NBA players stood out athletically but ended up fading into the background because they didn't have any real skills, Flagg is different. He's already got the shot creation abilities that make you see just how versatile he can really be. This kid can use his dribbles and footwork to stop on a dime on the perimeter and hit jumpers over his defenders. There's still room to improve his jumper, but he's as solid as they come, especially with his brand of physical basketball. Unlike most young players who shy away from contact and would rather use their skills or athleticism to score, Cooper Flagg seems to embrace contact. He likes using his body out on the perimeter to create openings using slight brush-offs and subtle shoulder bumps. When he's on his way to the basket, he likes going up against big men, finishing over them, or using strong layups or even dunks. He's basically fundamentally sound, having all the skills you need from a 3-level scorer because he can shoot and drive. And it's not like he's a black hole on offense. Cooper Flagg was already a willing passer during his high school years. Of course, he would rather score the ball himself, but he's shown excellent vision, IQ, and willingness to give up the ball, especially when defenders gravitate toward him. And because he's got every tool you need from a scoring wing, he's so great at convincing multiple defenders to pay attention to what he can do, allowing his teammates to find openings. True enough, there are still a lot of things he needs to improve on the offensive end. He can handle the ball, but it's unlikely that his handles are NBA ready. Savvy defenders and quick hands are likely going to frustrate him by forcing him to pick up the ball early or maybe even goad him into turning the ball over. Meanwhile, his jump shot could still improve, even though he's impressed a lot of people with his fundamentals. So, if he's not the best athlete and isn't even the most complete scorer in his draft class, why is he so high on the list of prospects? Well, for starters, basketball is played on both ends of the court, and it's on the defensive end where Cooper Flagg tends to shine. It's incredibly rare to see young players putting a ton of effort into defense because you don't get sponsorships or viral videos by being a good defender. But Cooper Flagg seems to already understand how important defense is, even for a young man who doesn't turn 18 until December. He's special on the defensive end because he doesn't give up on a play and is an excellent help defender inside the paint. Cooper Flagg knows how to use his height, wingspan, and athleticism when blocking shots near the basket. And most of his highlights involve two-handed blocks that he times so well because of his defensive instincts. He's no slouch on the perimeter as well, capable of playing good one-on-one ball defense and understanding when to put his hands in the passing lanes. When he adds more muscle to his frame, he's going to be a good low-post defender as well.
Could have been an assist. Cooper Flagg says, "Get that out of here."
So if you look at it, Cooper Flagg has the rare defensive talent that could potentially allow him to defend 4 positions on the floor. He may not be fast, but he could probably hold his own against slower guards. Meanwhile, he's going to be a gem when guarding small forwards and power forwards alike. And if he adds more size, he might get strong enough to guard smaller centers. The last time we saw someone with this kind of versatility on the defensive end was LeBron James. But while Cooper Flagg probably won't become the next coming of the king, his defensive versatility gives him a clear advantage over his peers. This kid is also a highly intelligent prospect who simply knows and understands how to play the game the right way. He doesn't come with the eye-popping stats that most prospects come with. In high school, he averaged 16.1 points, 7.6 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 2.7 blocks, and 1.6 steals. While the blocks and steals are impressive, the points and rebounds don't jump out the roof. And that's because he played on a deep team and was never too selfish with his approach. Meanwhile, when he helped Team USA win the gold medal in the FIBA Under-17 tournament, he averaged 9.3 points, 10 rebounds, 2.9 blocks, and 2.4 steals. During the championship game, Cooper Flagg came off the bench and had 10 points, 17 rebounds, 8 steals, and 4 blocks. So if you look at his stats, it's clear that he knows he doesn't have to score all the time to make an impact. He's more than willing to do all the other things, such as rebounding and defending, as long as he knows that he's contributing to a victory. There aren't a lot of young players with that level of maturity. The fact that he knows how to play winning basketball is the reason why a lot of scouts are so high on him. He's got a really high floor and a good ceiling as well. Some experts and analysts might say that he doesn't look like he has the it factor that made guys like LeBron James, Victor Wembanyama, and Zion Williamson into clear generational draft talents. But he's got everything you need from a safe pick in the sense that you know that there's a really low chance that he's going to be a bust, even if there's also a chance that he might not be the face of the next generation. He's the type of player who's not going to demand touches, and would quietly average 18 to 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks on a regular basis as the second or third option on the team. He looks more than happy to do everything else on a team, even if he's not going to average 25 to 30 points a night. That means that he's going to be a good glue guy on a team that already has a clear star. Still, Cooper Flagg also has the potential to become a true first option, depending on how his offense develops in college. But outside the stats and the skills, Cooper Flagg seems to shine in the intangibles department. He looks like he already has a good head on his shoulders at a young age because he seems to be focused on becoming a winner at the next level. On top of that, he's smart enough to reclassify and finish high school early. And when he gets to the NBA, he's not even going to be 19 until December 2025, making him a very young prospect who has a ton of room for growth. USA Basketball, of course, knows how good Cooper Flagg is because at just 17, he got invited to play for the select team, which helped Team USA prepare for the Olympics. In this scrimmage with Team USA, he handled Drew Holiday's perimeter defense really well and even shot a long jumper over Anthony Davis's outstretched arms. Take note that these aren't your run-of-the-mill NBA players. They're the best of the best, especially on the defensive end. So, if Cooper Flagg can handle some of the best players the NBA has to offer, he's more than ready to take his wares to the collegiate ranks as a member of the Duke Blue Devils. And if he continues improving in college, there's no doubt that he's going to be the #1 overall pick in 2025. The only question is whether or not teams will be willing to tank for him in the 2024-25 season.